tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello and welcome, AfterBuzz fans. This is a brand new episode of Spotlight On. If you haven't already, go to youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV. Hit subscribe. We're also on iTunes and SoundCloud. You can subscribe there. I'm super excited. I'm your host, Yael Tygiel, and I am joined by the lovely and talented Winter Ave Zoli. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
We have so much to talk about. We have to talk about Sons of Anarchy. We have to talk about Legends. We have everything to talk about.
Yes.
Let's jump in with, this is like your favorite dance song, isn't
Yes.
it? Yeah, dancing. All right. I want to start with some Sons of Anarchy because I know the fans would kill me if we didn't talk about it.
Of course.
I know that you don't like being asked, how was it working on Sons of Anarchy?
No, it's not that I don't like being asked. It's that everybody asks, and understandably so.
Right. And of course it was great.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Okay, now that we got that out of the way.
Yes.
Let's talk about your character. I heard that you were not supposed to be a long-term character. It was one episode?
That's right. It was a 1 to 2 day guest starring role.
Yeah.
And it turned into, 6 seasons. For me.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that was great.
Let's talk about this role because you played a porn star.
Yes.
Did you do research?
I did.
Yeah.
I read some biographies
Okay.
on famous porn stars. I watched some documentaries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's basically what I did.
That's what you did. I mean, that's when you research for a character, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Was it really difficult for you? Because I know you've said that nudity isn't a problem for you. Was it difficult for you to do some of the more uncomfortable stuff?
Well, nudity became a non-issue.
Okay.
I never really thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
The first scene that I did as Lyla, that was a porn scene,
Mm-hmm.
was absolutely the most terrifying thing I've ever done as an actress, I think, because I had to really be the porn star and I had to do something to this guy that was awkward.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then I was always in my underwear on set, and I just sort of got used to it, and then it became like, whatever.
Yeah. Are there other things in your life that you think now, like, well, I've done this. I could do anything now?
Yeah.
Yeah? You're going to go skydiving?
Did that, check.
I mean, I played a porn star. I can go skydiving.
Yeah.
That's how the
Actually,
world
it was Sons of Anarchy related, the skydiving.
Yeah.
It was a cast and crew wrap party
Wow.
skydiving. Yeah.
Do you get recognized a lot for that role?
Yeah, not sometimes, not so much because Lyla really had a particular look with the hair and the makeup and the costumes.
Right.
And so me, in real life, I'm very plain Jane, so I don't think people would think that that's the same person.
Okay.
But yeah, every once in a while,
Yeah.
there's someone.
Because you're part of such a iconic and beloved show.
Yeah.
Do you still get a lot of fans? I mean, I know you're not big on the social media, but do you hear from the fans about how much they love that show and they miss it?
Yeah. Yeah, I get it on my Instagram and my Facebook. And I get some fan mail from diehard Sons fans.
Yeah.
And I did some biker conventions a while back, and that was where I really got to see how much people were obsessed with the show.
Yeah.
And we had just, hordes of people lining up to meet us, and I was blown away. It was great.
What's a biker convention like?
So there's a few different ones. This was the Harley Davidson one. And they basically tour around the States, and it's a bike show. So there's bikes that are on display and gear that you can buy, and it's like a huge convention. And me and Tommy Flanagan did a tour together.
Wow.
And so we just basically sit on a stage and people line up to meet us and have our pictures signed and take pictures with us. And it's kind of like being in the zoo. Yeah, a little bit.
Like being in I like, that's a good analogy, because it sounds like it's like a show where they're selling bikes and marketing, but it's also like a mix of Comic-Con where like the fans can meet the people.
Yeah, exactly.
Put together.
Yeah.
That sounds so fun.
Yeah. It was fun. Yeah.
Do you get to see, I don't know if Sons gets fan art. Do fans make art of you?
Oh yeah, actually I had reposted this drawing that this girl did of the cast, and it was beautiful. Wow. So I reposted that, and I've seen a lot of street art. Cool. I've taken pictures and posted that on Instagram as well. That's
awesome.
Yeah.
Do you ever think back and just pinch yourself for being part of such a beloved show?
Yeah, absolutely. It was it's just so unexpected and on every level, that it got as big as it did. When I joined, it wasn't, I think that's the season that it started to really become a big show. So yeah, I'm so happy I got to have that experience.
That's awesome. I know also you got to do an episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
And I love that you were in one episode, but it was one of the most important episodes of the entire show because it's May's big reveal.
Right.
What's it like? So you go from one amazing fan-loved show to another.
Yeah.
What is that like?
Well, that was kind of intimidating, stepping onto a show that's so big and successful and popular. But I had a lot of fun. It was all the sort of action stuff I got to do, and that's always fun.
That's so cool. Yeah. Do you are you interested in a lot of superheroes? Is that something you might be interested in?
I mean, personally, I never got into like superhero stuff, but I mean, I love Batman.
Yeah.
I love all the Batman movies.
Do you have interest I mean, it's so fun to be an actor and to love things. You'd be like, I want to play that. Is there any role that you want to play?
Well, the thing is, I would want to be Batman, or I would want to be Superman.
Cool.
I never want to be the girl parts. In like the superhero stories, I want to be the actual superhero. So it's not going to happen.
You would be a great Batman.
Thank you.
I think you'd be an excellent Batman. I think you'd be better than Ben Affleck's going to be. That's what I'm going to say.
Oh, yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah. Are you excited to see Superman be Batman?
Sure, yeah.
All right, let's jump into Legends. That's what we're here to talk about. Did you watch the first season?
I did not.
Okay.
They actually told us it really wasn't important to. I researched it, what it was, about, and the layout of the show and everything, but they said it's going to be completely different.
Yeah, so and it is.
It is completely different, yeah.
It's so, the first episode of the second season, I was like, wait a second. What, is this a new show?
Yeah. That's how they're kind of marketing it, as a brand new show.
And it's great. And let's talk about your character. She's a detective. So you went from a porn star to a superhuman, super strong person to a detective.
Yeah.
What's it like making that transition to just a normal person?
Well, I've always... Yeah, that was definitely the nice part about this role, was that she's just a normal woman.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to play a detective. I was a huge Dexter fan. And Deborah Morgan was like someone I was just obsessed with, and I always wanted to play something like that. So I was really excited to get a role like this.
Yeah. Tell us about this character for people who may not have joined the second season yet.
So her name is Gabriela Mišková. She's a Czech detective. And she basically is paired up with this American FBI agent, Curtis Ballard, to hunt down this Russian mobster named Dmitry Petrovich, who is a legend of Martinotum. So her storyline, and the show jumps around between 2001 and 2015. So 2001, she's a detective. 2015, she is head of the Czech police department. So she kind of goes up in her status.
Are we going to see what it is that got her promoted?
No.
Okay.
No. That's just
okay. I thought maybe like
time she worked her way up.
I thought maybe like the case that she's working on ended up with her getting the promotion.
No, there's nothing in particular.
All right.
She just...
I mean, as a fan, I wanted to know.
Yeah. No.
And so this last week, there was a big reveal with who she is in bed with.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that story, what we know so far?
Yeah. So, Blazek, who is sort of my boss in the beginning, him and I develop a relationship, which at first, my character's like, yeah, right, that's not gonna happen. And then it happens, and all of a sudden she's married with, maybe I'm getting away too much.
No, we saw pictures with the kids.
Okay, so she's married.
We saw pictures of kids. Yeah.
And this is, over a period of years where at this point Curtis Ballard has gone back to the States.
Right. But the big reveal was that he's...
Well, and he's not a dirty cop.
Yeah, he's not a good guy.
Yeah, he's not a good guy.
I was mind blown when he came out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
How excited are you to be part of this so mysterious show where every episode we get a tiny reveal that just changes everything?
It's great to be part of a show that's so exciting and well written. And, yeah. I mean, when every script I read, I was like, oh, this is so good. This is so good. Yeah.
And you got to shoot in Prague, right?
Yeah.
Which is where you grew up.
I grew up in Prague.
Do you get to see all your family and friends? And
yeah, so my parents still live there. So I got to be with them and spend an extended period of time again at home. My second home.
Was that exciting or was that tedious?
Yeah, it's great. I have a good relationship with my parents,
okay.
So it's easy. Yeah, it was fun. It was really fun.
And you got to work with Sean Bean.
Yeah.
And he lived. I mean, the first season it was #Don'tKillSeanBean.
Right.
So he's alive at season 2.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Did you go out with him in Prague? Did people go crazy?
No, I think some people here and there went out together, but our schedules coincided a lot because if your storyline wasn't being shot, someone else's was.
Right.
So, shooting schedules were all over the place. So.
Yeah.
Not so much. I was always recommending places for everyone to go because
right.
basically a local.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how was the season shot? Because of the time jumps, was it shot with the 2001 stuff and then later the 2015, or was it all mixed together?
It was all mixed together. I had days where I was, having my wig put on and then taken off and makeup changed and, depending on they tried to avoid that. But,
right.
We were shooting scenes the same day that were 2001 and 2015.
How do you keep that straight?
In the beginning, it was kind of difficult to sort of keep track of okay, where am I right now? What happened? What hasn't happened? But then you start to get into a rhythm and a flow, and you sort of start to keep track of, okay, yeah, right. Okay, this hasn't happened yet, right? Okay.
Was there ever a moment that you were like, wait, hold on, I got this? Okay, now I know where I am. I know what year it is.
We did actually. Steve and I at one point were like, wait a minute. So wait, where are we right now? Hold on a second.
What do we know?
Right.
Do you get to do any action?
Not as much as I would have liked to, but I had one scene that was a big police shootout scene, and that was really fun.
Okay. Did you get to shoot a gun?
Yes.
Have you shot a gun before?
I have. I've been to gun ranges, and I did a movie where I was shooting every gun under the sun.
So you're good. You're good with a gun.
Well,
I'm an expert with a gun, is what you want to say.
No, I'm not going to go that far, but yeah, I have fun with it. It's fun.
Yeah.
I can admit that.
I mean, it's acting. Yeah.
I'm all about gun control, but it is fun to shoot within a safe
on a set when it's not a real gun. Yeah, that sounds fun. This show is so fun and so exciting. Are there any parts that you, when you watch it, that you go, oh man, I want to play that part next time, or I would like to play a part similar to that?
I mean, I'm always looking for. I want to play strong women. I feel like there's not enough of that out there.
Superman type
which is
women.
why I want to play Superman, Batman, something strong. But I feel like it's getting better. I feel like there's more and more roles for women that are smart and where they're smart and strong, and that's good. So that's good to see.
Absolutely. There's this whole conversation happening in Hollywood now about giving women better roles. Do you feel like we're making headway?
I do. I mean, from what I've seen that's out there in the scripts that I've read and just the small amount that I've gotten to see, I feel like it is. I feel like it's going that direction.
Yeah.
It's kind of gearing away from the focusing on like the teen age group, and I feel like it is becoming more sort of mature, intellectual stories that are being made, and that's really good to see.
And this show especially has a lot of strong women.
Yeah.
I mean, even the teenage roles in this show are strong.
Yeah.
Do you think that this show is helping broaden the world, being like, hey, look, we could have a show full of strong women?
I think it will. Yeah, I could, for sure.
Where do you want to see this show go?
Like if it has a third season?
Yeah, after this season. Because you know what happens this season, so I don't want to ask you where it's going.
Right. It is so hard to tell where they're taking this story. I mean, I'm sure there's amazing things that the writers can think of that I'm like not thinking of, but it's there's all these storylines that are interwoven and that they sort of find each other along the way as the series goes, that everything starts connecting. But at the end of the series, it's left at, okay, now what?
Yeah. Crazy.
So I don't really know.
Yeah.
I haven't thought too much about
do you think,
how I would write it.
Yeah.
But...
Do you think season 3 will start over again and be anew as though it's different?
Well, see, they could keep doing that.
Right.
The little tiny amount of word that I got on the street, I don't think they're going to do that.
Okay.
Entirely, no.
Okay.
We'll see.
Just as a fan, like, I need to know what's happening.
Yeah.
So before I let you go, I want to know what you can tease about the next episode for the fans who are super excited to see what happens. If there's anything you can tease.
Well, it'll be an explosive episode.
Awesome.
That's a big hint.
That's a big hint. I love it. If there are 0 explosions, I will be so excited because that would be hilarious.
It'll be an explosive episode. And it's going to focus on Curtis Ballard's character and his storyline and where he's coming from and where he is today. So, yeah.
Okay. We're going to see more of what happened with Curtis Ballard and your character.
Yes. It's going to dive into that relationship a little bit more.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
And of course, people can follow you on Instagram. Do you want to tell them where that is?
Yes, it's at Winter Ave.
Awesome.
Facebook is Winter Ave Zoli. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And of course, you can find me online at yael.tv. That's YAEL.tv. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook, everything at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. See ya.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.